I think you can say the fittest, because I remember in those days when we should have this yo-yo test in the national team, she was the one who should, like do the most, do the highest number was Parmeshwari. She was the fittest player in the national team in those years when I was there with the team.
And coming on to today's game, Sirvodem Sports Club going through a really bad patch of form, just one win from 4 games, three losses, and coming into this on the back of a 9-1 humiliation against Odisha Sports. So, how much it means to the team and the tournament?
It will be definitely difficult for them because they also have a very young team. Most of the players are from Goa. They have not bought any player from the national team, or like some senior players or experienced players, youngsters. So coming back from that 9-0 lost, 9-1 lost against Odisha Police, and playing versus Sethu now, it'll be definitely a tough day for them, and I don't know how the team will perform for sure. But the start, they have to be on their toes to. But they'll, as I see their formation in the team, the coach has prepared them to play kind of defensive because they are playing with 5 backs in the team in the match. So I'm very sure that coach doesn't want to consider any goals. I don't know about the scoring, but they are trying to play kind of defensive game, it looks like.
And talking about Gokulam Kerala, do you really see any team at present in the league putting up a strong show against Gokulam Kerala, or is it going to be a smooth sailing for the Malabarians?
They are one of the best teams so far in the IWL this season. But you never know, once like Kickstar or Sethu FC plays versus them, what will be the scenario and how the game will be. But the players are quite experienced in Gokulam, and Gokulam was last year's, like they had gone for last year's AFC, so they are with those experienced players also there in the team. Some foreign players which are one of the key players from Myanmar they have, and some other players from abroad. So I think Gokulam is at present on an upper hand, but on a match day you never know. A young team also will take off, and they might just go through a match. So you never know.
Words on their scouting process, because we've seen Gokulam Kerala being the only Hero I League team to have a reserve team, which is parallelly playing in the Ramco Kerala Premier League. So your thoughts on their scouting process and the entire structure?
What I know, see, I don't know the procedure how they go about and things, but the previous coach, that's Priya PV, was my good friend, and she was with the national team recently with the senior team. She was with the national team like prior to some years ago. So she was the one, I think, who has formed the team and who has brought the players together. Definitely the club has put in a lot of money and a lot of funds in there, but I think Priya is the one who knows most of the national players, and she got them together. And last season they have a lot of signings and things. So I think this year the coach who's there, I'm not saying he's not familiar with the players also, but he got a good chance to work with the players in the Kerala League, and then he got this national players and players from abroad, and then I think he also had a good setup for the players, and then they traveled for the IWL, and they look quite prepared to play this tournament and go through and try to lift the trophy again.
And talking about Sethu Madurai, the former champions, they are second in the table with 4 wins in a row, and the former champions playing catch up with Gokulam Kerala, who are on the top of the table, and a win will take them level on points with Gokulam Kerala. Do you think Sethu Madurai will be eyeing for a victory with handsome margin, as it looks like the goal difference is going to play a very crucial role in the Hero IWL this season?
Yeah, definitely Sethu will go all out for this game, and they will also try to have a bigger margin because it's a league system and everybody wants to score more on a younger team. I cannot say it's a weaker team, but younger team, because especially Sethu has experienced players, national players. The team has been together for some time, so I think Sethu also wants to be on top of the table, and they will definitely try to go all out for this game, so then they can come in level with the top team.
How is the inclusion of Sandhya helping Sethu Madurai? We saw Sandhya previously was the player of the tournament in the Hero Indian Women's League.
Oh yeah, she is one of the, I think now at present, the key player. She's the captain of the team. She's taking the whole responsibility of the team on the pitch. I'm very sure that she'll take off the pitch also. Being in the national squad when they came in, and that was the first time they ever came into the national team when I was the head coach. Only problem with Sandhya was the language earlier when she started with the team, but then she coped it, like she started talking, she started mingling around with players. Her level of confidence started changing, and I think now Sandhya takes it all, and she can lead a club team itself. Shows you like how confident she is with and without the ball.
What do you think means from a coach's perspective? How was this transformation possible?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Just I wanted to say that from a coach's point of view, what do you think? How was this transformation possible for for Sandhya?
It's definitely she was she was a good player. You should definitely from her past coaches what she has come through to the national team. But coming to a national team, it's not your club. Sorry, it's not your state, or it's not your own language. So once you come to a national team, it's you need to mingle with all the other players who are from all different states, and it becomes difficult for some players who doesn't know Hindi and English to come into the team and mingle with the players, because if you are not good with the players, or you don't have a good relation with the players off the pitch, it becomes difficult on pitch. So Sandhya was one of the players, but then like at the end of my like we were preparing for Olympic qualifiers round 2. By the end, she was my key striker of the team. If you have seen the Olympic qualifiers matches, she was my lone striker who was playing in the center. And I remember she scoring a goal versus Myanmar, and Myanmar was one of the strongest team for us in the in that group. And we scored the first goal versus Myanmar, and that was Sandhya who touched the ball in the net, and we were like the whole team was happy, and we started with that one lead, and then the match was all in the girls were all confident. And but the way I remember Sandhya had come to the national team quiet, not talking to anybody, and now when I look at her, the way she takes herself forward, leading the Sethu FC, the team which they have played from before, it's great. And but the credit definitely goes to their coach, Mariappan. He's from Pondicherry, and she's also from Pondicherry. She was trained by him for so many years and all. But then, yes, she has her own talent, and she's one of the best players in the country at present.
What are the extra measures or reinforcements Sirvodem Sports Club got to take tonight against Sethu Madurai to salvage something out of this game? If this somehow manages to hold them, will it do their confidence a whole world of good?
Definitely for a side from Goa, it will be not easy to play versus Sethu, because they have been experienced players are there in the from the national team. Plus, the team from Goa has the younger players, and less of matches who have played, and they are playing in this IWL. For the coach, definitely the coach has shown her, her point, from her point, the way she has formed the team to play against Setu, playing that goalkeeper and fight back. That itself shows like they don't want to consider any goals from this game. I think the coach and the players definitely knows what the lost 9-1 is for them, so they don't want to face it again maybe. So that's why they are come prepared, and the coach has prepared them that way.
And Crispin Chetri, the head coach of Sethu Madurai, it did look like a defensively soft side in the opening game, but plenty of wealth while attacking. Which are the players who impressed you this season in this Sethu setup apart from Sandhya?
There are, I think, Setu FC has a good, especially the strikers and midfielders has a good combination. Especially Grace is also there in Setu, who is one of the key players who's seen. Anju is there, Sanju is there. They are all these key players who have been seen in the in by their own performance. They have kept up their name, and the position has been into good. Yes, the rest of the players, I maybe missed out somebody, but they are the players who will definitely hold Setu, and maybe Setu also will be in the list to lift the trophy of IWL this season.
In the ongoing edition of the Hero Indian Women's League, we can see two foreigners are allowed to be registered in the team and one can play in the starting 11. Would you prefer seeing that number increase in the coming years in order to make the league more interesting?
If you see about the league being more interested, definitely foreign players will have a a shine on the like on the league. But if I look from a national team perspective, I will say I don't even need one outside players, because all the in the state players, or all the national players, or all the players from India should get a chance and have a platform where they can perform and they show their talent. So if you see it, it has both the side, but I think one is good enough at present, the way it looks. And the girls who are there from outside India, they are, last season there was a player from Nepal, and she had it all. She was one of the key players from Gokulam last season. She was the only striker what they had, kind of. But the way Gokulam put it up, and so foreign players definitely have a impact on the club. But I believe if it has both sides of it. But it looks nice when some foreign players are there and the national players or the club players can adjust with them. So that is also another scenario where you can mix the players, and that's something also a different thing. But yeah, for at present one looks good.
And there has been support from Odisha government. There has been support from IFA for the I League and KFA for the Santosh Trophy. How important are these partnerships in taking Indian football forward together?
Oh my God! I think the key is the state associations, and they are the ones who will develop the players or the teams in the state, and then it comes to federation. Federation just is the head of things, but the below thing, I think the state association, the secretaries, the presidents, they have to take it all. They have to do their work in their state. If you say it's like Odisha government, the way Odisha government has prepared whole the atmosphere for the women's football or the other sports, the way they have the infrastructure, the way they are encouraging sports, even the ministers, the way he is encouraging the sport, I think that's the key for any player. Or if I'm from Goa, I would like to see my state also growing and supporting women's football or any sport in for that matter. So I think the key is your own house. So how you say it's your own house, how your parents develop you, and then you come to a school and you go to a principal, or you meet. So it's AIFF is just should do the cream out of it, take the cream out of it, the work and the hard work what has to be done. It's the state association, I believe.
Like Goa at one point of time had several clubs playing in the top flight of Indian football, like Devpo, Salgaonkar, Sporting Club de Goa, and now only FC Goa is there in the men's game, representing in the Hero ISL, and Sirvodem Sports Club are the flag bearers in the women's game. If they manages to get a respectable season, will it attract or inspire more clubs from the state in the near future?
It says, if you have heard before, like football is in Goan blood. So any if you open any house and you give them a ball, let it be an old lady, let it be a young man, or let it be a girl or boy, and give them a ball, they'll know to play football. So it's not So I'm trying to say, in Goa, in every house there will be a footballer. Goa must be a small state, but then you will find players in every house, or everybody wants, or at least if they don't want to play. Want to play, they might be interested in watching a match, interested in going for a this local matches what happen. If you see any ground in Goa, a lot of people watch this local matches. As you have already mentioned, there is only FC Goa. Definitely, FC Goa is one of the key, and the way they have this fan base in Goa, I think that will definitely promote our men's game also to upcome. And about women's game, definitely one of the club is already in IWL. The way when the women's league happened in Goa, I think the way they are fighting versus each other to to be in IWL, that is great. So I think it's all about time. I think Goa also will need some time to come up and to match the level. But in Goa, definitely the grassroots is on, and the players have been produced, and I think it is on the right track. But it will take definitely some time to be there in the top leagues and all.
Now, getting into the team lists of Sirvodem Sports Club of this evening is going with a 5-3-2, and Mahesh Jagtap going with five in defense. Would you say it's a sensible decision from the head coach?
Definitely, I believe the lost what they had previous match, the 9 goals. So definitely, a coach has come back and thought maybe we have a young team, so it's better like we play 5 back so that we don't consider goals. Scoring goals doesn't matter if it is 1-1 at least or whatever. If it is a draw, they get 1 point. So I think it must be a game plan for them. But I think in this whole tournament till now, this was the first match which is played by 5 back. So it's not, you can say it's not the coaches scared or anything. This is a game plan. So I'm very sure the coach has some plan for this. So I think she deserved what she has come up, and hopefully the plan works for her.
And Ernestina, she is partnering Clancy up top. In midfield, there is three players. Is there a chance of Sirvodem getting outnumbered in midfield? Most part of the game, they would be 4 versus 3.
I'm not sure if there will be lack of players in the attacking play, because the way the coach has planned, there must be some game plan for them where the fullbacks, join the attack, or one fullback or both the fullback, or any player from the back three who are playing in the defense line, one join in the midfield. We don't know the game plan. But once the match starts, we can, on the half time, we will come to know what is the game plan of the Goan head coach.
Now getting into Sethu FC, they're continuing with 4-3-3. Sandhya, Renu and Elizabeth in terrific form. They have the meanest defense, conceded just 2 goals so far. So what do you make of this entire scenario?
I think they have played this formation in previous matches also, and I think they are familiar with the formation, and they'll definitely play for a win, because, and for them, win is not the key for them. The goals are the key. So I think they will go all out to get a bigger margin and a bigger goal sheet. So I'm very sure all the players will be hungry in Sethu to get their names on the score sheet, and for Sethu to have a bigger number of goals for this match.
Before I end this, my last question is to you. With Grace sitting deep in midfield, Karthik and Durga, the two outside midfielders. So is there a gap between the striker and the midfielder? Can this be an issue in the game?
I think Grace is one of the good players what the national team had previously also, and she's quite clever. She plays those intelligent balls. I don't think so it will be a big gap, but they also have a game plan for them, how they will do, and what Kartika has to do, and how they will move around the pitch. But we need to wait and see till the halftime what coach exactly has planned for them. So once the match starts, we can talk about it.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of our pre-match discussion. Thank you very much, Rocky Ji, for joining us. And now we'll go
Thank
back to
you.
the Kalinga Stadium, where live action coming up your way. Tights in the Hero Indian Women's League continues to shed the table, and today once again there is a chance for a change at the top two, as Sethu Madurai FC, on the back of their fourth win of the season, come up against Sirvodem Sports Club, and Sethu Madurai is in the clear by making their chances. But what matters is that it is still in their hands, in their control, and that is the control that will determine the proceedings on this crisp Monday evening. This is an excellent platform developed by Vedanta in collaboration with GFA to help aspiring women footballers across the country. As Sirvodem Sports Club making their way into the ground, they urge all the players to take maximum benefit from this opportunity and excel further to achieve the great heights in football. Congratulating the winners, Sirvodem Sports Club, the runners-up, FC Goa, and all the other participants of the league, and hope to see many more talented women's footballers from Goa shining at the national and international platform in the near future. Vedanta Women's Football League is an important initiative by Vedanta in collaboration with Goa Football Association for the upliftment of women football in the state. The star player of the tournament, Karishma, shall be representing the national team in the near future, and going forward this tournament will be instrumental in helping more and more women footballers. Now let's hear from Jagtap what he has to say. He addressed the media before this game.
So, playing against Sethu FC, it will be tough for us. Especially we are out of players because of injuries, because of players have gone for their exams. So we are facing problems from last match. So let's see how it is going to be, and hope we'll try to solve it.
Time for the team news then. If Crispin Chetri has the services of Elizabeth and Sandhya, then Mahesh Jagtap has those of Ernestina Tete. She is on 2 goals, and Clancy into the starting lineup for this 3rd start in a row, and Sanfida and Arpita are both fine, so that part of the pitch is sorted for Sirvodem Sports Club, and they look menacing up front as well, with Ernestina Tete leading the line and with Clancy alongside. But this is a defense where they faltered in the game so far, and Mahesh Jagtap will ask her team to be faultless, going with a 5-3-2. Mahesh Jagtap, one of the few head coaches who has been afforded time and patience in 2 of the most priceless commodities in modern football, that has resulted in a team that looks more complete, and she will want that goal and she will want that pressure to be maintained on those teams below them in the table. Talking about the subs, Mavis De Silva is a new signing for Sirvodem Sports Club. And Mavis De Silva is a new signing for Sirvodem Sports Club, and Diona D'Souza is a striker in line, ready to come on as a substitute. And Sethu Madurai has cast its net across the state with many of its players in the current junior and senior squads, having come through hostels run by the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, and the state government and the SAI have schemes to support sports persons, and also set aside funds to make kits and equipments available to the players. Well, most of the girls hailing from the small towns are faced with 2 immediate concerns: the risk of injury and the question of employment. These are the first things the parent ask them when they scout for new talents, says Development Coordinator K. Saktival. The first hurdle is to show families that this is a career option and that there exists life beyond the world of engineers and doctors. Crispin Chetri expressed his thoughts before this game. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, we have started quite well, but now we have to keep winning the matches and continue the momentum.
And what do you make of your opponent, Sirvodem?
Yeah, I think now we should be focusing more on what we are doing best, and we shouldn't think about opponent like what they have done in other matches. So every match is a different ball game. So we'll respect them, and we'll try to do good and improve on what we have done in last matches. So hopefully we'll come with 3 points.
Thank you.
And now over to the away team for the day, Sethu Madurai. Crispin Chetri has a chance to build on that battling win against Kickstart FC 3 days ago, and so the team will not change. Paudi and Kausalya will be shouldering responsibilities inside their own box, and Grace has been impressive in midfield. That ever-present Kartika will cover a lot of pitch as well, but the big 2 up front is Elizabeth and Sandhya. Kartika, her creativity has been a threat, and this could be a real game changer. Crispin Chetri has turned to a club he knows well, but the times have changed. In fact, Sethu Madurai have a habit of looking at those who know how the club operates, and it seems that might be the way of planning for the future. As Grace and her inclusion in midfield was a bright spot in the 4 games for Sethu Madurai, as she has a sturdy right foot, and it will be fantastic to see her come up against the likes of Jeromina. As Sethu Madurai plays second in the points table, a win will take them level on points with Gokulam Kerala, and Sirvodem Sports Club can climb to 7th from 11th with a victory tonight. The referee for today's game is Kushum Mandi, and she is assisted by Shalini Yadav and Basudev Paul. The 4th official for today's game is Rohit, and match commissioner Sudeshna Mukherjee. Ellis Silo and Yuvan for Sethu Madurai is on the bench. Well, two Indian managers and two very different teams at this point. But tell you what, stranger things have happened in the Hero Indian Women's League. And Sethu Madurai will hope to keep up that new dawn that we have been speaking about, as new staffs brings with it new ideas which include trusting players and helping them realize what they can do. And the referee with the two captains, that is Sandhya, the skipper of Sethu Madurai. The skipper of Sirvodem Sports Club is Ansela Barreto, the right full back. Well, Sethu Madurai managed to play some brilliant football as well, led by the principles of Crispin Chetri and his young brigade of Indians. Elizabeth's experience, Sandhya's class on top means they have a level head to rely on, and those two will be on the pitch. Such is her class, who can turn those half chances into goals, and a renewed determination is what is needed for the sides. And so PIFA, ARA Football Club and Indian Arrows are above Sirvodem Sports Club. For Chitra Gangadharan, she is no more with the team, as Mahesh Jagtap is on the bench in charge of Sirvodem Sports Club. It's going to be a very challenging task though. Not a good start, of course, with losses, and we saw. But Crispin Chetri must have taken his notes from the previous game. Given the fact it was tightly contested against Kickstart, they'll have to focus on defending, and sometimes conceding goals can be a habit for teams. And new coaches and new styles, the intricacies in the Hero Indian Women's League, and even with 12 clubs, can be really very intriguing. While there are the obvious South Indian derby to look forward to, it will be interesting to see what southern sides Gokulam Kerala and Sethu Madurai can do this season. And 3 losses, Sirvodem Sports Club are yet to get off the mark in the Hero Indian Women's League, and they gave their everything to win that game against Odisha Sports. They are yet to ride luck and summon lost pride, but they'll have to do that again and again and again until the end of the season. Their next challenge are Sethu Madurai, who are majestic and who are meticulous, and they have all the firepower up top. They have felt the feeling of being at the top of the table. They want to keep the feeling intact. But for Crispin Chetri, he will have to outsmart Mahesh Jagtap, which might not be as easy as it seemed. Both the sides will have to ride this storm very carefully. Spoke about the shape of Sirvodem Sports Club. It is a 5-3-2, very defensive, and can be a tough proposition for any team to face. This is because it's so hard to break down with 5 defenders sitting in front of the box. Has an early chance. Elizabeth, the ball has crossed the line. It's a goal kick. And Elizabeth right on the money for Sethu Madurai from the word go. Crispin Chetri applauding. With 5 defenders at the back for Sirvodem Sports Club, one of them is going to play the role of a sweeper. Another ball, early ball threaded through. Renu with a sudden flash of pace, and could have waited for Elizabeth to get there. That was a fast timer from the number 15, and inches away from the Kenyan Elizabeth. She was arriving at the far post, and the centre backs are really playing in. The system should be comfortable, playing in a back 3 as well. good at communication and don't get in each other's way when the team transitions to a 3-5-2. The two wide centre backs should have the pace, power and positioning to cover for the wing backs and be comfortable on the ball. An early move down the middle, an overhead ball perfectly timed for Renu. Renu looks up and delivers towards Elizabeth at the back post. Too high for the number 27, kept alive by Sandhya. Sends it right back, just on the edge of the area, and Karthika. The ball eventually falling slightly behind her. And Sirvodem Sports Club, they are quickly on the ball. Here's the jersey number 4 onto it. That is Sanfida. But they have it back, Sethu Madurai. Paudi. The energetic fullbacks or wing backs who have fantastic conditioning can get up and down the pitch, as well as defending their flanks wholeheartedly and being good at one-on-ones, and they should also be good on the ball and be able to support the midfielders further up the pitch. Another powerful move from the left. Sanfida just sweeping it away off her feet. That was Ernestina Tete, the Ghanaian striker. Back behind defending. The disciplined central midfielders who not only help out in defense but also contribute in attack, and they should have a lot of stamina and be able to cover the wide position and support the fullbacks. One or two of them should also chip in with goals and assists. And now down the line, Elizabeth is offside. And those two strikers up top, Ernestina and Clancy, they will look to work well together and make tireless runs into space, pulling the opposition out of position and putting the ball in the back of the net, while one is an out-and-out striker and the other is often a supportive striker, a more creative player who creates a lot of chances. And Crispin Chetri just continuing with his system. In football, there is no right or wrong way to approach a game, and every tactical system has its strengths and weaknesses. While some coaches will line up defensively and try to limit opposition's chances, and the others will press aggressively and looking to win the ball high up the pitch and create a lot of chances. One of the most important aspects of any tactical system is the choice of formation. This is Devi getting it long, collected by Ernestina. She's been deployed in midfield, trying to utilize her big stretcher, her big frame, using her in a defensive role. Mahesh Jagtap, as he believes that a height and physique of hers in front of defense would be really helpful in terms of providing a cushion to the back five. It is a back five, but while going forward, it will transition to a 3-5-2 as the two wide wingers will join midfield and support the wide midfielders, creating the transitioning to a 3-5-2 eventually at the back. While defending deep, the fullbacks would drop deep and shore up the defense and make it a 5-3-2. And these are the fluctuations, and these are the flexibility of playing in this particular formation. Talking about Sethu, three very key players in midfield: Durga, Karthika and Grace, and is generally seen as an attacking formation. And at the back, the goalkeeper is protected by four defenders: right back, two central backs and a left back. In front of them, there are three central midfielders who can be organized in a variety of ways. And finally, the attack is led by the front three, which is generally made up of two wingers, Renu and Sandhya. or in some cases inside forwards as well. And a central striker as a focal point in the attacking phase is the number 27, Elizabeth. Sandhya, of course, is the highest goal scorer for Sethu Madurai with 3 goals. Elizabeth is second highest with 2. And against Mata Rukmani, they've had 6 different goal scorers. That is always very, very refreshing to have. An early release for Elizabeth, well marshalled by Femina. And she joined Sirvodem Sports Club from Gokulam Kerala. She was part of Gokulam Kerala's Scoreline Kerala Women's League champion team. Here is Sandhya. Joining in the attack is Grace. This is what even the former India women's national team head coach Memal Rocky Ji also mentioned, that Grace would push up and try to support in attack. Here's Elizabeth. Elizabeth with quick pair of heels. There's the low cross, no pace on it. And easy pickings for Femina. Picked up by Sandhya. Grace. Durga. Still getting her header away. And easy in the end from Rinku. There's the interception from Kaushalya. Durga. Paudi. Pavitra. Safety first is the agenda. As coach's tactics and strategies continue to evolve, one inventive variation of 4-3-3 has gained increasing prominence. This is the development of false 9. We saw Pep Guardiola do that with Barcelona, with Messi in it. And in this form, the 4-3-3 formation, a team's central forward will drop into a slightly deeper or more creative role, linking the midfield and attack and allowing the 2 wide players to cause problems higher up the pitch. This is a wonderful run. Flag has eventually stayed down. Sandhya is onside. It's going to be a corner kick for Sethu Madurai. Getting her foot in was Geeta. Let's see what Sethu Madurai can produce from this corner. It's still 0-0. We're approaching 11th minute. It's a teasing corner and almost an Olympic goal from Grace. And even the slightest of touches from Renu would have done the job for Sethu Madurai. A beautifully taken corner kick from Grace. Hitting Ernestina. She had to stretch, but I couldn't get the feel of the ball. Fitness is also a very key issue. The players, if they aren't fit enough to press properly, it can be difficult to make the system work, as they may be particularly susceptible against quick counter-attacks. The full-backs and central midfielders must have particularly high energy and stamina levels, as their jobs involve lots of movement up and down the pitch. Too much height on the cross, and Renu nodded it back across goal. Sandhya trying to sort her feet out. Layoff for the number 12. It's taken a very wicked deflection. Gonna be another corner kick for Sethu Madurai, and it was Karthika with the attempt. Headed across goal by Renu, that high cross from deep. Karthika takes it straight towards Elizabeth. Just escaping her. Is going to be cleared by Sirvodems. That was Chetna. Comes right back into the mix, but Geeta was aware. Very aware of her surroundings. The number 5. That ball is steered into the box. Whistle has gone against Karthika. And this particular game now, for Sirvodem Sports Club's point of view, it's all about staying adept and not losing concentration. As long as they do not concede, they will put up a strong show, make it difficult for the likes of Sethu FC to get into the box. This is Durga on to Renu. Goes behind to Kaushalya. As the loose ball onto it was Ernestina Tete, operating from deep. And now Sanfida playing it forward. Devi off her mark very quickly. A beautiful ball. And Elizabeth, that too heavy for the Ghanaian. This confirms to a more general rule, which is that the shape can produce an over-reliance on top quality players in key areas of the pitch, such the central defensive midfielder. And now on the run is Renu. She is aided by the number 17 Chetna. Cross is a disappointing one. She's finding time and space down the flanks, but need to get some quality on the cross. That is missing tonight so far. Femina. Touch for Jeromina. The long ball. Underneath it was Kaushalya. Durga shaping up for a long ball, and she eventually finds the pass to Renu. She will get there before the keeper, and not just that, she slots it in past Dhanashri, and it's 1-0 for Sethu Madurai. Renu with the opening goal. Just a quarter of an hour gone. Taking the lead here are the former champions. A wonderful ball played over the top. Have a look at it. Beating the offside trap, managing to get there ahead the goalkeeper, and slots it home, Renu. And eventually all her runs forward bearing fruit for the number 15. She's been making those runs time and again. A couple of times was flagged off, but on this occasion managing to beat the trap and get the job done for Sethu Madurai. Durga, Sandhya, Grace operating through the middle, asking for it, opting to go short towards Karthika, and outside of the boot from Durga A. Finding the right pass into Elizabeth. She's got Renu waiting in the box. Elizabeth on her own. Losing out to the Ghanaian Ernestina Tede. The battle between Ernestina and Elizabeth is going to be really interesting this evening. Talk about that extra man in defense is the Ghanaian Ernestina Tete. is that extra man in that back five for Sirvodem Sports Club, who is a slightly more defensive minded. She will need a lot more stamina, a lot more endurance to run up and down the pitch. She needs to cover every blade of grass. Jeromina, Ernestina away from one, brought down, free kick for Sirvodem Sports Club. And one of the advantage of playing in this formation is that it allows teams to press the opposition's defense, highing up the pitch into the final third. Can't get her header away. Almost getting stuck into the feet of Ernestina. Here is Sandhya. Comes back in towards Kartika. A slow passing build-up from Sethu Madurai, playing the ball to feet. Trying to frustrate the opponent. Hounding possession early on, trying to draw them out and utilize the space behind the defense. Kaushalya, and on to Durga. Durga looking for that adventurous ball, chested down by Rinku. Rinku's ball forward, stepping in Paudi, and eventually she loses out to Ancelo Barreto. Advancing high up into the Sirvodem area. Renu is offside once again. Cutting that one out high up into the opposition's area was the number 15 Renu. And earlier in the day, the Battalion ground kickstart after a setback against Sethu Madurai, back to winning ways as they defeated Odisha's Police by 2-0. And ARA Football Club winning 3-0 against Hans Women Football Club. Trying to take the ball and spin away. Beats Femina for pace. Renu, there's the cutback. Sandhya with the shot. It's gone wide and taken a deflection in the way. So corner kick for Sethu Madurai. Relentless pressure from the former champions. There's the cutback from Renu towards Sandhya. In comes the corner. It's gone out of play. Too much spin on it. Sethu Madurai just running behind a ball in shots isn't an activity for the girls. And despite all the odds, they have gone this far. And that's what the girls were told when they started out. The stories all follow that template of worried parents and know a few resources and antiquated social norms. Elizabeth trying to power her way through. Falls for the number 15 and she makes it 2-0. Easy as you like. Renu with the brace. And Sirvodem Sports Club struggling to clear their lines. And Elizabeth trying to bulldoze her way forward. Oh, she was stopped on her tracks and eventually the loose ball falling for Renu. Not a very proper clearance. It was picked up by Renu and she puts it into the back of the net. Ernestina Tete slightly frustrated. This is one of those things which Sirvodem Sports Club got to learn of, keeping possession, string few passes among themselves. Sanfida has lost it out. Kartika, a short passing build up again. Pavitra, the left back. Excellent move from Sethu Madurai, but Elizabeth is offside. The government also cast its net across the state, as I've mentioned earlier, by providing hostels run by Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu. This time it's been cleared out of the danger area by Sirvodem Sports Club, but Pavitra making sure there's no breakaway move forward. An interception from Rinku. Sanfida. Sirvodem Sports Club, heavy touch from Sanfida, and quickly into the challenge is the number 6 Durga of Sirvodem of Sethu Madurai. And Kaushalya is one of the youngest members in the senior team, and the team's designated TikTok expert as well. And Archana Armugam, one of the new signings, and Sandhya, the 2019 Hero Indian Women's League's most valuable player of the tournament, all coming through the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu system. As 25 minutes on the clock, Sethu Madurai onto a quick flyer double. Renu, she is on a hat-trick. A high line. A comfortable header away for the clearance. Teti. Ernestina Teti, the player from Ghana. Pavitra. Back to the Kenyan. A throw in taken very quickly. Renu. Durga rolls it across, falls short of the number 6 Durga. Has been taken away by Jeromina. Can they make something of this? A very poor lack of intensity. They won the ball back though. Trying to make something happen from the right wing, and the skipper Ansela Barreto was involved in the move. Sethu Madurai on the attack. Grace. Pavitra. Pavitra with a cute ball inside, and that shader from the number 12 Kartika. Not getting a very proper connection on that cross. Just a shade of her head. There you go. That's the tiniest of touches. Rinku with the clearance. Too much height. Now Pavitra. Durga. Talking about Sethu Madurai. They are a very superior side, and sponsors have been the backbone of everything they do. And more importantly, their partnerships with the government, with the educational institutions like Lady Doa College in Madurai and Annamalai University. That always helps them to fulfill their assurances to the players. The goal of this arrangement is simple: deepen the talent pool and strengthen the bench and help the girls play. Sandhya. This is where she excels. This time, somehow managing to deal with it was Rinku. She was on the end of that cutback. Sanfida charging down the middle. That's a brilliant ball. A run coming in. Layoff for Sanfida. Well seen there by Durga A. Nicely cut out by Geetha. So time for the first hydration break of this evening. And Sethu Madurai go into it with a comfortable 2-0 lead. Let's have a look at the two goals. The two highlight moments of this game. That was Renu getting there ahead of the keeper and putting it between the legs. Wonderfully taken. Great opportunism shown by the number 15. And then the second one, capitalizing on the weak clearance from the defender and slotting it under the goalkeeper Dhanushri. Sethu Madurai, the dug can't even fall back on academies because that was never their focus. All they know is football. Elizabeth was trying to come inside, but the fullback not allowing her to do so. This game doesn't have jobs for the players, but the families expect salaries and a contribution to the household. The medals, accolades and the recognition doesn't pay the bills really. Another slipping in. This time the number 12, Kartika. Just a tad too long. They've got those pass masters in the final third. Who is doing the damage? Good possession football from Sethu Madurai. Sandhya wide on the far right. Plays it in field. It's a misplaced pass picked up by the number 20, Jeromina. And now switching play from central position. Nicely cut out there by Kartika. And now continuing her run is Grace. Elizabeth was in the mix. Renu making her way into the box. Has been picked up beautifully by Ernestina Tete. Doing her share of defensive duty this evening for Sirvodem Sports Club, the champions of Vedanta Goa Women's League. They are placed 11th in the points table, just collecting 1 point from 4 matches, 1 draw and 3 losses. And the team down in the dump is Hunts Women Football Club, the team from Delhi. They are yet to register a single point. And now getting the better of the marker. In comes the cross. It's a teasing delivery and a diving header from Grace. Not enough power behind that. And this time the goalkeeper Dhanushri hugging the ball to chest. And no damage done. And there's the replay. Beautiful ball between the two central defenders. The high boot involved from Geetha. And almost turning into a chance for the number 11. Thankfully for the goalkeeper, not enough power behind it. Once again on the run is Renu, slipping it in field. And 3 players in white marshalling the ball in the end. And no time for a breather. Defending with all hands on deck, Sirvodem Sports Club. What a wonderful ball. It's a zipping delivery towards Elizabeth. Touched behind for a corner kick. Will this be the corner? And that can get Sethu Madurai their 3rd goal. Her previous delivery causing a lot of problem. This time a very feeble punch, but enough from the goalkeeper. Sethu Madurai come back again. A super exciting month-long league. Vedanta Goa witnessed power-packed football action with 5 competing teams. Sirvodem Sports Club, Goa United SC, Compassion FC, FC Goa, and Football Club YFA, showcasing an incredible display of skillful football to secure the champions title. The individual women's star performer of the league were awarded during the closing ceremony, as Mrs. Stancy Cardozo of FC Goa awarded the Golden Boot. Even Mr. Alemao Churchill, the president of Churchill Brothers, and also Goa Football Association, said Vedanta Women's Football League is an important initiative in collaboration with Goa Football Association for the upliftment of women's football in the state. And it's a very happy moment that star players of the tournament, Karishma, shall be representing the Indian national team, and be damn sure going forward this tournament will be instrumental in helping more and more women's footballers from Goa to fulfill their dreams and to play for the national team and the prestigious international platforms as well. And now the ball sent in. And fails to create anything moving forward. Sirvodem. There's a similar scenario Just like the game between ARA Football Club and Hunts Women, a pretty one-sided affair. Powdy riding the challenge. And now sending Elizabeth from the left. Generating pace as Elizabeth puts a brake on her run. Was trying to pick out Karthika. Pausing for a while, the number 12 and the white shirt eventually getting onto the ball. Kaushalya, Durga, Sandhya, Grace, who was running ahead of her, she ignores the number 11. Very patient build up from Sirvodem Sports Club. Now she turns towards the goal and progressing forward. Was stripped from behind, the number 12, Karthika, and free kick for Sethu Madurai. And Grace with the free kick, lining it up from 30 yards out, maybe 35 yards. And Grace goes for the lofted pass. And there was that flick on from Sandhya. Elizabeth again, creating options from the left. She's got pace to burn. Uh, 5 minutes of regulation time left in this half. Another pinpoint ball. Sandhya is offside. Offside by quite a few yards, the number 7. Rinku. Nothing comes off it. Rinku, second bite at the cherry. She's played it out this time. And there's the head coach of Sirvodem Sports Club. And Jagtap. Only 2 players available on the bench. They are short of the squad. Not much options on the bench. In a hostile condition, Sirvodem Sports Club very, very depleted while going forward as well. In a commanding possession is Sethu Madurai Sandhya. A very uncharacteristic loose pass. Jeromina, well covered. Now helping it on. And out muscled Sanfida. And now looking for the third. Sethu Madurai. Excellent reverse ball for Karthika. One way then the other. Karthika keeps going. Elizabeth inside her. On the left corner of the penalty area is Renu. Across dinked in. Headed away. There's the gap, lot of space on the left. If only Renu takes a look at it, instead she's deciding to go all on her own. And the keeper makes a comfortable save, narrows down the angle. Durga between the lines. Sandhya. She is face to face with Chetna. Can she take her on? Checks infield instead. A nice idea though from Sandhya. Such an exciting player to watch. Having Lions a share of possession. Sethu Madurai. Sandhya still keeps hold of the ball and not allowed to turn. Renu smacked over the top. A long chase for Sanfida. And jockeying her is the number at 6 Durga. Looking for support and it does come. Too late by then. Allowing the Sethu Madurai defense to organize. A couple of minutes going to be added on to the regulated 45. Trying to squeeze between a couple of white shirts. Very, very watchful in the closing stages of the first half. Sethu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala. These two teams so far unstoppable, unplayable. Additional time of 2 minutes. Finding each other out brilliantly. Intricate waves of passing from Sethu Madurai. Renu this time hustled off the ball. Collected in midfield. Sandhya. What she got up her sleeves. Sandhya, she keeps going, almost running into Rinku. And the ball is lost. Pavitra. Elizabeth. A lean and lanky forward from Kenya. Grace trying to step past Chetna. A support arriving in the form of Durga. Shouts of handball and nothing given. And quick turnover possession. Sanfida. She is comfortably covered by Paudi. Might be a sticky situation. Kaushalya somehow comes to the rescue and bailing Sethu Madurai out of that situation. Attempted through pass for Renu. One last move before half time. Pavitra's ball from deep, easily headed away. And that's the half time whistle from today's referee Kushum Mandi. And Sethu Madurai will sitting pretty and comfortable in a 2-0 lead going into the break, and a brace from their number 15 Renu. It's been a very intriguing half of football, especially for the away team. They will be impressed with their performance, especially this player, Renu, scoring a brace in the first half. Sirvodem Sports Club will go back to the locker room and to the drawing board and need to revise their tactics time and again. And these are the first half stats: 70-30 and the ball possession, 7 shots taken by Sethu, 4 on target, total 5 fouls committed by 2 teams in the first half, and 4 corner kicks won by Sethu Madurai. Only 1 shot taken in the first half by Sirvodem, 7 on the flip side by Sethu Madurai. Renu Rani with 4, Kartika, Lalampadi and Sandhya with 1 each. And these are the number of fouls committed by Sirvodem, 1 each from the skipper Ansela Barreto and Ernestina Teti. And these are the number of fouls committed by Sethu Madurai, Kartika Durga and Durga P with 1 each. Now let's have a look at the first half highlights. The match number 30 kicking off at the Kalinga Stadium between the Goan champions Sirvodem Sports Club and the side from Tamil Nadu. This was a very close moment. And then the number 15 beating the offside trap, opening her account and making it 1-0. And Sethu Madurai quickly off the mark. And then picking up the loose clearance and making it 2-0 is the same player, Renu. In a tussle for the ball with Geeta and Elizabeth. And then that high cross, header just wide from the number 12. And the cut back, a high boot and the diving header from Grace, comfortable for the keeper. Renu with another cut back, this time 3 defenders closing down. A lofted free kick, Sandhya's back header, comfortable for the goalkeeper. Renu then forcing the save out of the goalkeeper Dhanushri. And that's how the first half ended. And it's Sethu Madurai who are on a 2-0 lead. Stay tuned, we'll come back shortly after this break. Coverage of the second half from the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar, and you are watching the Hero Indian Women's League's match number 30 live on Eurosport and also on the YouTube streaming of the Indian football team page. And it's Sirvodem Sports Club who are trailing by 2-0 against Sethu Madurai. And after a slow start, they've grown into the game, the side from Tamil Nadu, and Renu showing traits of a box striker. Great opportunism shown by the number 15. Her second also capitalizing on the defender's weak clearance. And half chances also falling in favour of Sandhya. Not being able to make it count. And even that a chance for Karthika from the cross. The header was not strong enough. Just a shader which went wide, but the other team, Sirvodem Sports Club, yet to muster up anything on the opposite end of the pitch, and eventually it's turning out to be a offense versus defense affair so far. Making two very quick changes right from the beginning of the second half is Sethu Madurai, as Devnita Roy and Yuvarani comes on. It is free kick for Sirvodem Sports Club deep inside their area. Femina floats it over Tete. Still muscling for the ball. Eventually the number 4 of Sethu Madurai, Paudi, comes out on top. As Sanfida, she is limping. Both the players coming from Meghalaya. Turning out to be an interesting battle. And Devi, the first time a ball sent into the penalty area of Sethu Madurai, and the goalkeeper had to collect. And carries to Renu. Taken away by the number 22. And now down the line, Renu, she's got the pace to go past the marker and sending a teasing delivery. Hits the side netting. The number 15. She's been the standout performer so far in this game. Sethu FC meanwhile will be looking to match the league leaders Gokulam on points table with a win. Head coach Crispin Chetri also expressed his opinion ahead of the match on Monday evening. And when asked about his opinion on the side's start to the Hero Indian Women's League season, Chetri added, definitely they are happy, and but they will like to improve with each passing game. Three minutes into the second half, seeing a lot more of the ball is the team in white. Free kick won by Tete. Showing some positive intent is Sirvodem Sports Club in the second half. And now trying to be proactive at the Goans. Pavitra. Inverted fullback. Both the fullbacks, in fact, of Sethu Madurai, Durga and Pavitra, very attack-minded. Elizabeth inside her. Pavitra keeps going. Finds option in the number 26. This is a low cross. Another chance, but the flag went up. The offside flag immediately went up. A beautifully scooped pass from Yuvrani. And this is Elizabeth. Good ball forward. It ricochets onto the path of the number 22. That is Devneta Roy. The attempted black heel not coming off. Yuvrani. Excellent tracking back from the skipper, Anselo Barreto. A throw in speared into the box. Devnita Roy and Elizabeth goes for the curler. Targeting the near post. The Kenyan striker just can keep it goalwards. Elizabeth scored both the goals for Sethu Madurai against Kickstart. That was her attempt. I could have done much better with that shot, Elizabeth. She is capable of doing that. A collection from Dhanashreen. Pavitra likes to play on the second ball. The left full back, Yuvrani. Karthika. Oh, wonderful scoop pass into the path of the number 14. Pavitra's cross. No conviction in the clearance. A shot might be open. Devnita Roy was just about to pull the trigger, but quickly closed down, and now quick exchange up top. Ernestina Tete. Tete on her own, holding off two challengers, squeezing between three pink shirts. Eventually lost control of the ball. Not getting enough support for 1-2. Yuvrani was offside. A very close call. By half a yard ahead, the number 26 Yuvrani, just running half a yard ahead of the defense. Sanfida looking to get in behind. Nice shoulder to shoulder from Paudi. It's turning out to be a very exciting battle between the two players from Meghalaya. The two teams with contrasting starts to the Hero Indian Women's League 2022 season. Sirvodem Sports Club and Sethu clashing heads at the Kalinga Stadium. Sirvodem are yet to register a victory in the Hero Indian Women's League this season, and will be up for a challenge against Sethu. It's interesting to see the go on side. Trying to show some fight against the former champions, but if you keep on defending, there's going to be a point of time where the defenders will eventually commit a mistake, and that will lead to a goal, and that is exactly what has happened in the first half. And no such pressure from Sirvodem attackers up top. Sanfida is the only player limping. Doesn't look 100% fit. But the head coach, Mahesh Jagtap, he's got no options. Only 2 players on the bench. One is the defender Melvis De Silva, and the other one is Diona Souza. A shortage of players. And Sanfida will have to continue. She is struggling. And meanwhile, we'll have to defend this corner. In comes the delivery. And a shooting chance for the number 14, Pavitra. Managing to direct it goalwards. Just steering it on target. But the goalkeeper getting down on time, Dhanushree. Well done, goalkeeper. Went high a couple of times, this time deciding to go down. And Dhanushree was right there. Another long ball, Sanfida. Easy for Kaushalya. Sirvodem are yet to register a victory in the Hero Indian Women's League this season. And they are up for a challenge against Sethu. And it will be interesting to see the go on side. How they end this. Trailing by 2 goals, but a goal here can make things interesting. There's still plenty of time to make a match out of this. It's a tremendous run from the right from Renu. There's the cutback. Elizabeth, tiny little layoff, and the shot is wide from Kartika. Beautiful setup for the number 12. A tremendous run down the right from Renu. Tryman again. And the number 15 having a very eventful evening with those electric heel runs. Pacey electric winger. And Renu again. She is up against Chetna, pardon me. The number 22, Deventa Roy. Rinku battling for the ball. Eventually the white shirt comes out on top, and now Sanfida, she can hamper the game with her pace, giving up in the end, giving up on the chase. The number 4, an excellent recovery there from Ernestina. Yuvrani, Elizabeth, Sethu Madurai pressing hard. That pass is too long. The Hero Indian Women's League, a win was just the beginning for Sethu Madurai, as Sini firmly believes that while it has given the sport some much needed attention, the problems in the system won't solve themselves. For instance, the Manipuri players play the nationals for the Indian team. They get appointed and get jobs in the government there. And that's not happening enough in Tamil Nadu. There is a financial support, but it's not enough. And the employment question needs to be handled, and they will approach the government about the same, he says. Well, the referee says Ernestina, she's won it clean. So at the hour mark here at the Kalinga Stadium, it is Sethu Madurai leading by 2-0 against Sirvodem Sports Club. Rinku, a lot of height and distance on the free kick. Comes to nothing. Renu looking to spring on a counter. That is not allowed. Durga. Femina clears. Poor clearance. A white shirt onto it. Doing pretty well in the second half. Sirvodem Sports Club in terms of keeping the ball and then tossing it around. Sanfida, oh, excellent drag back. She's also drawn a foul in her favour. That was a very quick turn from Sanfida. Rinku in corner duties for Sirvodem Sports Club. The first corner kick of the game. Rinku delivers towards Ernestina. Can't keep the header on target. That was Sirvodem Sports Club's first real chance to score in this game. The Ghanaian just failing to make it count. Femina's header. Elizabeth. And into the path of Yuvrani. Yuvrani just hustling and bustling on the ball, and now Pavitra takes over. The left back from behind checks onto her right side. There's the clearance. They are quite aware of the fact she is equally capable with both her feet, and then closing her down. And there's that interception. And away from her marker. This time it's a decent looking cross. Elizabeth, she might get there. No space to shoot. In it comes from behind. The number 17, Durga. Top netting it. And Sethu Madurai, they're hungry for more. They started their journey on 16th April by defeating Mata Rukmani by 6-1. Elizabeth, Anju, Mariammal, Sanju, Lalampuri and Reeth were the scorers, followed by a 2-0 victory in the second game against RIFC. Sandhya and Renu were the scorers. followed by 3-0 against the Arrows. Sandhya with a brace and the other one coming from Kartika, the number 12. And in the last game, they defeated Kickstart Football Club by a 2-1. It was a battling win, in fact, for Crispin Chetri's girls. It's going to be their 5th win on trot if the scoreline remains this way. They are leading by 2-0. It's going to be Sirvodem's 4th defeat if they fails to get a result out of this game. They started off with a 4-0 defeat against the Arrows. In the second game, lost 7-0 against Kickstart. Played a 0-0 in the third game against PIFA. And the last game, a thrashing into the hands of Sports Odisha by 9-1. Hans Women Football Club remains to be at the bottom though, yet to open their account. Sirvodem Sports Club, they are second last. Pavitra. And just a reminder for our viewers, there's no relegation in the Hero Indian Women's League. And Elizabeth with a nice turn. Elizabeth keeps going at a wonderful ball. Flag stayed down. Deventa Roy makes it 3-0. What a build-up. Excellent phase of play from Sethu Madurai. And the center of things was Elizabeth. Running horizontally across the pitch. Picking out a perfect pass. Weaving through the eye of a needle. And Deventa Roy making it 3-0. Look at that. And Elizabeth. She's got excellent vision on the ball. Perfectly timing her run, Deventa. And making it 3-0. A comeback from here on for Sirvodem Sports Club looks near to impossible. Conceding possession with erratic passing. A very crucial intervention from the number 8, Rinku. And now Renu, she will get there. Renu has got the number 26, Yuvrani Roy. Into the top netting. Yuvrani R. She made her presence into the box. She's been highly productive, Renu, this evening. A throw in taken. And loses out to Sanfida. Sanfida keeps going. 3 defenders on her back. And eventually outnumbered in the end. Lots of youngsters emerging through the Hero Indian Women's League. We saw Karishma of Gokulam Kerala in the game before. Bagging the Hero of the Match award. Also scoring on her start. There is Elizabeth. Shows one way, goes the other. Elizabeth with a very clever turn. Renu pokes it into the feet of Elizabeth. She saw the advanced goalkeeper. Driven wide. Had the space to carry it further forward and then take the attempt. And just pulling the trigger too early. Elizabeth Katungwa, a striker from the Kenyan Breweries team. The other feed, the Indian football team page. The Hero Santosh Trophy is a final going on between Bengal and Kerala. Kerala, of course, are the hosts of this edition of the Hero Santosh Trophy. And in case you are on this stream, watching a Sirvodem Sports Club taking on Sethu FC. Wonderful shielding there from Teti. The Hero Indian Women's League match is also getting televised live on Eurosport. The players are getting noticed, which was missing in the previous 4 seasons. There's gonna be a change now for the team in pink, Sethu Madurai. As number 18, Eliz Silo will come on. Off goes Renu. Third change, in fact, made by Crispin Chetri. Sirvodem Sports Club manager just continuing with the same 11. He's got no option on the bench. Only 2 players available. Yuvrani, lovely give and go, Yuvrani. She's left Barreto behind. So overplays it. Teti under pressure from a Sethu Madurai player. There's a clear push from Paudi on Sanfida. Free kick for Sirvodem Sports Club and Sanfida. She needs treatment. Referee has blown the whistle for hydration break. The last time we went into drinks break, it was 2-0 in favour of Sethu Madurai, and now it's 3-0. The only goal in the second half scored by Devant Roy, jersey number 22, who's come on as a substitute in the second half. So play about to resume after the drinks break. With this free kick, Rinku takes it. Elizabeth picks it up. And now Sethu Madurai can launch a very quick counter. Taking too much on the ball though. This is the number 18. She's just come on. Ellis Silo. Ellis Silo with an early flash of pace. Well done by Rinku. Stood firm. The number 8. Ball poked in field. Didn't reach Elizabeth. Comes out to Kartika. Final 15 minutes remaining in this game. Yuvrani up against Ansela Barreto. Barreto gets the tackle in. She was asking for a goal kick and it's been given as a corner. Referee just not agreeing with her. It's been a pretty humid day here in Bhubaneswar. In comes the corner. Clearance. Time to breathe for Sirvodem Sports Club finally. They've had a very difficult outing. Going through a very dark patch of form. But at the end of dark tunnel there is light. Still in search of that light. As the number 2, Lavanya, she's a central defender, will be coming on, replacing Kartika. As Crispin Chetri is looking to stabilize the defense. He won't want to concede tonight. Durga, Pavitra. Plays it out wide. Wonderfully done. Attempted cross is blocked from Ansela Barreto. Another corner for Sethu Madurai. Sent towards the edge of the area. Back to the kick taker and tried to catch the keeper off guard. That was a brilliant idea from Devante Roy. Eyeing for her second of the night. Something of the training pitch. They've practiced it time and again. A save from Rinku. Once again, Sethu Madurai coming away through Elizabeth, the creator of the third goal. And Devante Roy, wonderful skill, tempting bounce. Oh, hits the underside of the post and kept out. And it's been given as a goal. 4-0 for Sethu Madurai. And a brace for Devante Roy. A spectacular attempt. Impeccable technique. Took it on the bounce and struck the underside of the post and crossed the line. And it's been given as a goal. It's a 4-0 in favor of Sethu Madurai. A wonderful attempt. One of the best goal of the day, without a shadow of a doubt. We saw Naketa's free kick earlier in the day at the Capital Ground, rattling the woodwork and coming back, which was converted by Manisha, turning her man and took it on the bounce, and yes, the ball did cross the line, and after hitting the underside of the post. And on the run was Sanfida. 10 minutes of regulation time remaining in this game. Sethu Madurai are 4-0 ahead. They've scored 17 goals in 5 matches, conceded 2. The goal difference of plus 15. A win will take them level on points with Gokulam. They will remain to be second due to a goal difference. Gokulam are ahead. Way ahead though. Kaushalya. Still kept in play, wonderfully done. Elise Silo on her own. Safe from the Sirvodem Sports Club defenders this time. The ball was wonderfully bobbing on the line. Elise Silo keeping it in play. And now ball in no man's land. Winning the 50-50 was Durga. And now the two Africans getting involved in a battle. And Elizabeth committing that foul on Ernestina Tete. That's free kick for Sirvodem Sports Club just on the halfway area. Just slightly above the halfway line. She will look to pump it straight in. Manages to do so, but standing strong there was the defensive unit of Sethu Madurai, and that was the towering header from Pavitra. Sethu Madurai winning their matches and also keeping Gokulam Kerala under pressure. Even though Anthony Andrews' team are focusing on their own gameplay, they are not too worried about what the other teams in the chasing pack are doing. It's going to be the last and final change of the game made by Sethu Madurai. It is the number 24, Mitchell Castanha, coming on. Mitchell Castanha comes on and goes off body. A hint of a handball there. And Jeromina not been involved that much in the second half. Sanfida, she's been the only player looked alive for Sirvodem, despite carrying a niggling injury. A great commitment shown by the number 4. She's still limping. A regulation time of 5 minutes remaining. And Elizabeth trying to switch wings. Excellent guide on. The number 6 should squeeze in. She struck it wide. And that was Durga, the right back, going up, joining in attack. And once again at the center of all the goods is Elizabeth tonight for Sethu Madurai. And Ernestina on the flip side for Sirvodem Sports Club. She did get on the score sheet against Odisha Sports. But the side from Goa managed to score only 1 goal. And they have conceded 24. A big reason to worry. Even the team placed at the bottom, Hands Women Football Club, have scored more goals than them. Silo with pace. Silo's ball. Shouts of a handball. And referee has pointed to the spot. Or is it a free kick outside the box? It's going to be slightly debatable. A replay will clear doubts. Now referee has given it as a free kick outside the box, as the incident just took place outside. Just half a inch inside would have been a penalty kick for Sethu Madurai. And that was the incident. It's a very close call. Initially it looked like the incident took place inside the box, the handball especially. 2 players on top of this free kick, Pavitra and Devanta Roy. Devnata Roy finds Elizabeth in space. Shot is blocked. A wonderful idea. Rinku playing a spoil sport. And now it's smacked clear. Comes right back again. Elizabeth using her upper body strength. Elizabeth can slip in a player on the right. But Devnata Roy, she was offside. She strayed offside, in fact, coming back from an offside position. And now Sirvodem will be making the first change of the game. They have pretty limited options though. It's going to be the central defender, Myra De Silva. She will come on. And off goes Jeromina. Only a minute of regulation time remaining as we approach the end of the game. These are the closing stages. We call it as dying stages in footballing terms. Renu will be a strong contender for the hero of the game. Seems like 4 minutes will be added on. Got to wait for the confirmation though. 4 minutes is at least the word from the technical area. Yuvarani. Ellis Silo. And now pushing up. Here's the right full back. Here's the cross. Punched away by the keeper. Rebound comes in and it's 5-0. Picture perfect from Sethu Madurai. And the final nail in the coffin. And this time it is the number 17, Durga A, scoring the 5th one. And the goals just continues to flow. And there was the cross. Keeper parries it away, lands inside the box for the number 17. An excellent placement over the goalkeeper. The ball eventually spinning into the back of the net. Another heavy defeat for Sirvodem Sports Club. Sethu Madurai will be looking for another one. Half a dozen. Anju Tamang, I can see, is warming up. Shin didn't play a part in this game. Crispin Chetri just showing that he can even bag 3 points without the India international. So is the depth in the squad. Ernestina. And the last few minutes, the right back Durga playing in a very central role. And that's the tactical tweak from Crispin Chetri. Ernestina as well. Sanfida. She's got defenders on her toes. Sanfida twisting and turning and leaving it for the number 19. So disappointing. And that was in fact Clancy Miranda. Ernestina as a strike partner. Playing out from the back. A nice press from behind. Devneta Roy, Silo. Ernestina through the center from the near side is Devneta. She is also on a brace. Came on in the second half. Let's see who bags the Hero of the Match award this evening. Just a few seconds away from the end of round 5. The victory will keep Sethu Madurai in second though. Gokulam Kerala will be claiming the top spot by the virtue of a better goal difference. Can they end this on a style? Not managing to do so. This time it was Yuvarani almost joining in the party in style. And that's the full-time whistle at the Kalinga Stadium. And a 5-star performance from Sethu Madurai. It's a thumping victory registered by the former champions. Sirvodem Sports Club just facing their 4th defeat of this campaign. Sethu Madurai with a win, going level on points with Gokulam Kerala to 15. Both the teams with 5 straight victories to their name. A commendable performance by Sethu Madurai. And They scored 18 goals in 5 games, conceded only 2. A goal difference of plus 16. Their second highest margin of victory of this campaign of the Hero Indian Women's League. And now we wait for the hero of the match award, and it's going to be Renu, the number 15 of Sethu Madurai, for her brace in the first half. She also looked threatening time and again from the right flank. And this is today's hero of the match, Renu, awarded a cheque of 5,000 rupees, powered by Hero Motorcorp Limited. And these are the match stats on the full-time score line. It's ended 5-0 in favour of Sethu Madurai. We will come back to that in a short. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the stats. 74-26 ball possession. 22 shots taken by Sethu, 9 on target. Sirvodem Sports Club not managing to get any shot on target in this game, but managed to win only one corner. That too towards the end of the game. These are the number of shots taken by Sirvodem Sports Club in the first half. Only two of them from Ernestina Tete. Not managing to keep it on target though. These are the number of shots taken by Sethu Madurai, 22. Renu Rani with 5. Devneta Roy with 4. She managed to convert 2 of them. Durga with 3. Elizabeth with 3. And Kartika, Lalrampari and Pavitra with 1 each. Now we will have a look at the number of fouls committed by Sirvodem. Only 3 and 1 each from Ansela Barreto, Chetna Tirotkar and Ernestina Tete. And over to the winning team. They have committed 8 fouls. Durga with 3, Kartika, Elizabeth, Silo and Yuvrani with 1 each. And now let's have a look at the goals been scored in this game. Those 5 goals. 2 in the first half and 3 in the second. This was the opening one from Renu. And this is how it all started. And Renu then with the second, a very stray clearance. And she pouncing on it and making Sirvodem count for the second time in the first half. And then in the second half, the Kenyan striker Elizabeth wonderfully slipped through, and Devneta Roy making it 3-0. Just stepping past the challenges, and then that through ball making it 3-0. And then the goal number 4, Devneta, look at that, hits the underside of the post and cross the line. Well seen by the referee, and this wonderfully done, just taking it away from Rinku. Excellent technique applied by Devneta Roy, scoring her second. And then the last goal of the game, across from the right, keeper parries it. It was a weak one, falling safely for the number 17, which is calmly lifting it over the goalkeeper and making it 5-0 for Sethu Madurai. The final look at the full-time score is Sirvodem Sports Club 0, Sethu Madurai Football Club 5. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye from the Kalinga Stadium.